for anyone that saw the decision of Julio Alvarez yesterday, the double contact on the penalty, I think that decision will go down as one of the most bizarre in the history of the Champions League. Carlo Ancelotti also said that they noticed that the VAR was calling the attention of the referee, but they didn't wait. They didn't want anything to distract them. They quickly went to score their penalty and they went ahead. And before the referee, in fact, they just announced it while Madrid was playing the penalty that goal had been disallowed. Exactly. Alvarez had actually scored that goal, but Madrid just went on and then they got the job done.
We'll come back to talk about how that penalty unfolded, the whole decision surrounding the video assistant referee calling the referee to disallow the penalty and a lot of all this stuff like that, because a lot of people have also come out to also say that the VAR has come to destroy the game instead of making the game better. And because obviously football is a game where you have errors everywhere, referee errors. And I was listening to a friend of mine this morning. He said that if we take a look at the decisions that have been taken from the year 2000 down to maybe 2016, 2017, without VAR, if VAR had been involved or were to be involved in all of these decisions, then the issue of football would have been changed.
I disagree.
Yes, I agree.
I disagree. Now, sorry to cut you, by the way. For whoever has been following this show for a while, you know that I've always been totally against the VAR.
Okay.
I feel we are bringing in too much machines or too much
technology
into games played by human beings. And I've also stood on the fact that you are using the perfection of another human to correct the mistake of another human. Because the VARs don't work on autopilot.
Yes.
Human beings are controlling the VAR.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are using you are using the expectations of the perfection of one human to correct the error of another human. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
There's now VAR. There's goal line technology. They're already
semi-automated offside as well.
Offside now. There are chips installed in
football
now.
Yes.
We're even hearing that maybe by 2030 we'll not have human as linesmen now. We'll have robots officiating games. I feel there is a lot of technology is being brought into a game played by human. However, when you look at the level of commitment that these players are putting into it, when you look at the level of investment that these business owners, club owners are putting into it, when you look at the emotional trauma of the Chelsea-Barcelona fiasco,
yes,
you also look at the emotional issue of the Bayer Leverkusen versus Benfica.
Okay.
You also look at the semi-final of the first Champions League that Jose Mourinho won with Porto.
But okay.
The final was between Porto and Monaco.
Yeah.
But the semi-final, you also look at those instances where decisions.
Barca versus Chelsea as well.
Exactly. That decisions that if there were VAR would never, ever, ever have stood.
Yes.
We've seen games where the ball and clearly crossed the line into the post.
Into the post, exactly.
And they tell you that it didn't cross the line. So for the people arguing for the VAR, I've always been against it. But when you look at these things, you look at how much money you lose because of the referee's decision. You look at the emotional trauma of not losing a game because you didn't play well. Okay. Or you lost a game because the referee was not decisive
enough.
You justify that these technologies can be brought in. So it's been a balance of it. We've seen situations where referees they've overrun the decision of the VAR. We've seen situations. In fact, the first major controversy of the VAR happened in the Premier League. In Premier League, exactly. That game between Manchester United and Everton. Okay. That game had ended. In fact, it was in the German Bundesliga. Yeah, okay, that was the first ever incident of the VAR. It was in the German Bundesliga. The game has ended. They called the players back to play the penalty. I think so. It was a Manchester United game. Yeah, Manchester United game, exactly. Yes. Manchester United Everton. Yes. The game has ended. And ended. They called. I think it was Bruno. Bruno was to play penalty as well. They called the players back in 2020. Yes. So you have those instances where, yes, let's agree that it's a contact sport. It's a game played by human beings. The referee cannot be perfect. The referee is also human. Human, exactly. But if you look at the commitment and the emotional involvement, the overall involvement of what keeps a game, whether 90 minutes or 120 minutes, then you know that these technologies are justified. And that's the truth. Penalty. So you think if VAR is here to make the game better? Penalty is a one touch. penalty is a one. If you pass it for another player to score, like we saw between Messi and Suarez, it's a different ball.
It's a different ball game,
but
exactly.
You cannot have 2 touches on a penalty.
But now the issue is a player unintentionally has another touch, an unintentional touch. Like now that's the issue.
Just like they always tell you that ignorance is
not an excuse.
Whether unintentional, who knows the intentions of the only person that knows whether it was intentional or not is the player.
Is the player itself talking about Alvarez?
What is the thought process of anybody? You can only say, I didn't do it intentionally. Why if you did intentionally to deceive the goalkeeper?
Okay,
it could happen.
Yes,
I understand where you're coming from. The VAR takes a lot. The fact that the player will score,
yes,
then you have to wait for the VAR
to confirm. Delaying the celebration and everything.
It takes the gloss away from the game.
The controversy there is, why was Julian Alvarez not allowed to retake the penalty?
He cannot take the penalty.
Why can't you retake the penalty? Why did the referee decide to let it go?
The rules are clear.
No,
the referees don't make the rules.
The referees don't make the rules.
IFAB make the rules.
Yeah,
the rules are very clear. Penalties are one touch.
They are one touch.
You can't make 2 touches on the penalty.
Agreed.
Except you are passing.
Agreed. But why did the referee not give Julian Alvarez the chance to retake the penalty?
The referees didn't make the rule. IFAB made the rules.
Let me take you back to the 2020 Super Cup final.
I'm not going back to 2020.
Let's go back. The Super Cup final between Chelsea against Liverpool.
Yeah.
When what's his name now? Andran, the goalkeeper for Liverpool, came out of his line and he saved the penalty. The referee decided that the penalty should be retaken
because the goalkeeper didn't play the penalty.
So there is an undue disadvantage for one player over the other.
Agbatomi, if you go back and check the
incident
2003 or was 2003 Champions League final at Istanbul, one of the greatest comeback ever, Liverpool
2005. That's 2005. Yeah.
Liverpool AC Milan. All of the penalties that Jesus do there saved.
Yes.
If it were to be now, they would jail because guy was literally outside of the box to save those penalties. He was literally on the face of the goalkeepers, of the players. But the rules are changing now. Your leg has to be on the line. One of your legs has to be on the line. If it goes out, they will retake it. But the goalkeepers are not taking the penalty. Okay, if penalty is not one touch, especially during regular this thing, why don't players score rebound during penalty
shootout? So
my
own argument is there's an undue advantage of one player over the other.
During regular games,
yes,
when you play penalty and the keeper saves, you can actually score the rebound.
Yes.
But during the
normal penalty shootout, you can't.
The keeper saves.
Yes, that's the end exactly.
See, life is all about advantages and disadvantages, whether you like it or not. The goalkeeper is not the one playing the ball.
Yes.
Except of course maybe it's keeper to keeper. And the rule is applied. The rule is from the point of the kick. It's a one touch. You cannot touch the ball twice.
Okay.
You saw what happened between when Riyad Mahrez was still at Leicester City
against Man City.
Against Manchester
City.
He had a 2-touch on that ball.
Exactly.
And even his teammates knew that he was not going to count. And he didn't count. And we've seen instances and instances
but at least that one was still clearer than what happened last night. That was scary.
You ever released the result?
Yes.
That the contact was minimal.
Exactly.
Or minimal or no minimal. We've seen penalties given where players are standing on their feet. I can't remember the number of penalties that Dimitri Berbatov won for Man U and Tottenham while standing on his feet.
Exactly. Without even going to ground.
Is minimal or not, it doesn't change the fact that there were 2 touches on that penalty by Julio Alvarez, and it automatically means that the kick will be cancelled. If you want changes in the rules, write petition to IFAB. The referees don't make the rules. The referees only interpret the rules according to the one that is done by IFAB. So don't blame the referees.
Anyways, guys, I know a lot of people want to sing their thing to the conversation, but don't worry, guys. We'll also open the phone lines for you to have your contributions and then also tell us what you think about that particular incident. I know yesterday. 0913-6000-410, 0913-6000-410. But before we also open the phone lines as well, let's quickly take a look at other sports. Talking about tennis, we are on a quadri. Nigeria's table tennis icon suffered a harsh reality check at the WTT Champions at Chongqing 2025, where he also bowed out of the round of 32 after a comprehensive 3-0 defeat to world number 2 Wang Zhuxin of China. Earlier on today, and despite entering the tournament with high hopes, we had Aruna Kodri, who is currently ranked as the 19th best in the world, being outclassed by Chinese opponents in a one-sided contest at the Infinity Arena in the US. And just like we said, I was defeated 3-0. 3 sets in favor of our world number 2 Wang Zhuxin. Also, let's also leave that very, very quickly and now talk about the Australian Grand Prix, where McLaren's Lando Norris feels that McLaren are currently the favourites for the Australian Grand Prix 2025, or should I say Formula 1 season rather. And he also acknowledges as well that McLaren starts the Formula 1 season as favourite, but also says that the view amongst his rivals is short-sighted. And also Mercedes driver George Russell as well as world champion Max Verstappen both believe that McLaren will be starting the year with a pace advantage ahead of the evidence of pre-season testing. And you also remember as well that McLaren won the Constructors' Championship back in 2024, which was just last year, which was their first team title in over 26 years. I just started, Lando Norris finished just second behind Max Verstappen in the drivers' standings. Let's also leave that very, very quickly now. Talk about tennis, talking about the Indian Wells, where Jack Draper, British #1, has now reached the Indian Wells quarterfinals for the first time by beating world number 4 Taylor Fritz with one of the best performances of his career. Yes, we had Jack Draper, who is ranked 14th at this point in time, taking control by winning 7 games in a row from 5-4 down in a tight first set, and also holding his nerve to secure a 7-5, 6-4 victory. This 23-year-old Briton won 91% of the first half points, where he also dictated the rallies with his forehand and also rarely made a mistake against the 2022 champion Taylor Fritz. And then the only blip as well for the 13th seed came when he set for the match at 5-2, where he also relinquished his double break advantage with a double fault on break point. And his reward is also going to be an exciting quarterfinal on Thursday, which is going to be tomorrow against huge 7 American Bill Shelton. I will practice with the Britain at Indian Wells just last week. Let's also leave all of that very, very quickly before we also open the phone lines. Yes, of course, there are also games as well to be decided today, talking about the second tier and third tier of European football, talking about the UEFA Europa League as well as UEFA Europa Conference. But before we also do that, let's also take a look at the games that were decided yesterday. The Champions League, we are Lille being knocked out of the Champions League by Borussia Dortmund. They took the lead despite taking the lead in that one, but unfortunately Borussia Dortmund laughed the last, and they say he who laughs last laughs the loudest. Of course, we also had Aston as well up against PSV, and then it's all draw right there at Emirates Stadium with on loan Chelsea winger Raheem Sterling also been awarded as the man of the match. Aston Villa as well also be playing against PSG after they also knocked out Club Brugge 3-0 last night. 5-star performance from Marcus Rashford, even Marcus Asensio, who is currently on loan from PSG, and as it stands as well, is also going to be playing against PSG in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League. And then, just like you already know, at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium, we had Atletico Madrid after full time as well as after extra time, winning that 1-0, but that game eventually was decided by penalties, with Real Madrid winning that 4-2 via penalties, with Anthony Rudiger also getting the final sports kick to send Real Madrid as well into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions. And therefore championship as well as the second tier of English football last night, we had All City seeing off Oxford United 2-1, Leeds United as well 2-0. I also had Plymouth Argyle also seeing off Portsmouth 2-1. We had Watford as well getting the best of Swansea City at home at Vicarage 1-0, and then Stoke City as well also defeated Blackburn Rovers 1-0. Let's also leave that very, very quickly. And yes, it's now been confirmed now that Joshua Kimmich has now extended his contract with Bayern Munich until the year 2029. The announcement was made earlier on today via a club statement, where he also marks nearly a decade ever since Joshua Kimmich joined the Bundesliga Giants, during which he has also won a lot of domestic as well as international titles. For Joshua Kimmich, he has also been a very, very key figure for both Bayern Munich as well as the German national team, where he won 8 Bundesliga titles, the UEFA Champions League, as well as the FIFA Club World Cup, amongst other honors. And now, AFC Bayern president talked about Albert Einars, who now praised the club's management for securing Kimmich future, emphasizing his leadership. Yes, quality. Okay, Kimmich at Bayern Munich until 2020.
The Allianz Arena, he paid his dues. One of the most consistent players for the side. Absolutely worthy of a captain and band for the side.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I think a few weeks ago, when the whole contract thing was getting to the climax of it, there were rumors that Arsenal representatives were ready to talk to
pick him up
Kimmich, because the agent of the now football director of Arsenal is also the agent of Joshua Kimmich. So there were talks that maybe it could be on his way to Arsenal, but it's a well-deserved contract extension. He's been a very loyal player to Bayern. Even the season where they were struggling, last season where it was a roller coaster season for them, where Bayer Leverkusen were having a word of their game. Joshua Kimmich was one of those standard players, both for club and country, by the way. So I think it's just normal. When players get into all of these contract drama, the talks, and then it's been prolonged, I always have a feeling like maybe the clubs don't value the contribution of this player.
Exactly.
Because if I've been there for you, if I've put in my blood and sweat to make sure that you get where you are, even though, of course, I'm not playing for you for free, I'm giving you
you've been paid.
All of that, but you also need to respect the fact that we should have a gentleman agreement. I was reading William Saliba's interview yesterday. And he said he's waiting for Arsenal to put a contract on the table, that he's not even ready to get into any drama of negotiation, that whatever they put on the table is signing. I already told his agent that he's signing it, because he feels if you leave Arsenal without winning a trophy, you are going to be forgotten that you ever played for Arsenal. So he wants to win.
And I think that might be a possibility.
And that's what I keep telling people, especially some of the delusional Arsenal fans. I said some of, no disrespect. Trophies are everything.
They're important.
Forget whatever you want to say. Oh, highest goal scorer. You played 10 seasons for them. You didn't win any trophy. Somebody will play one season and he will deliver Champions League. That's the person they will remember. Nobody cares about the number of goals you scored. Nobody remembers how many goals Thierry Henry scored during the Invincibles. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
What everybody remembers is they won the entire season and they won the league.
Exactly.
If they had gone the entire season unbeaten and
they didn't win the league, nobody will remember
the Invincibles. People only remember you for what is on your cabinet. If not, why do you think Harry Kane is running Kitikata to Bayern Munich? Because he wants to win something. So you look at the English national team, you look at Fʀᴏᴜ, and you look at Harry Kane as the captain. Fʀᴏᴜ has a Champions League medal. He has 6 Premier League titles. Never ever won
a trophy. Exactly.
In the 2000 and 2003 season of Arsenal,
I won
we went unbeaten, and we won the trophy. Do you understand?
You might even have a replica to even show them.
Exactly. No, there was a replica for all of the players that went unbeaten, because that's the only gold cup that has ever been awarded in the history of the English Premier League. So that's exactly what it is. You are in a club and you are delivering trophies. You deserve to be. That's why I'm wondering why Liverpool is dilly-dallying on Mohamed Salah,
Trent Alexander-Arnold, and even Virgil van Dijk.
See, Arnold is most likely going to go to Madrid.
No, I
think his body language is, except that he has dropped form a bit.
I don't think so.
I think it's but for VVD, arguably the best defender in the world right now.
I'm telling you, for the past 5, 6, 7 years,
you have the best striker in the world right now, one of the hottest winger or forward in the world right now, Mohamed Salah, and you're dilly-dallying on a deal. And I feel the exit of Liverpool in the Champions League will be a minus for Salah when he's negotiating.
Exactly.
They are still on that Champions League.
It would have, it would have been a leverage for him.
Thank you. It would have been a leverage for him to keep talking and keep negotiating. But now that they have the Carabao Cup, if they go on to lose the Carabao Cup on Sunday against Newcastle, they have only the Premier League to fight for. So I think when players have done enough in your clubs, give them the deal, man.
All right, let's also come back on very, very quickly. Now it's now been confirmed as well that Nathan Taylor has now withdrawn from the squad of the Super Eagles after his injury while playing for Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. And now I guess who has been called up, Jordan Tᴏᴜ, a defender in place of a midfielder.
Yes.
Despite the fact that they still there's
well deserved. I think we're a bit light at the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had defenders called up as well.
We use 4.
Oh, but is that about being light at the back or having players that can score the goals?
Don't we have enough players that can score the goals?
Victor Osimhen,
Ademola Lookman,
who else? Boniface.
What are you saying?
Boniface is yet to get a goal after 10 games for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
You don't get it at the time.
I don't trust him.
If you don't play, how do you get the goals?
Cyril has played for the Super Eagles of Nigeria and he has scored.
Can we move on?
He has scored.
Can we move on from this?
Has this scored or he has not?
Can we? Okay, if it's based
Has
on
this
that,
scored or he has not scored?
He has been tested.
He has been tried and tested.
Paul Onuachu holds the record of the fastest goal in the history of Nigeria against Egypt. So we should bring him back on that basis. I understand everybody wants him to have the best for the team. But when I saw Ortega being brought back, I was happy. Because I feel we're a bit light at the back.
At the back, exactly.
You look at the midfield, we don't have enough midfielders that can join and, boost our numbers at the back, when we are being attacked.
Maybe Wilfred Ndidi.
Wilfred Ndidi is not the Wilfred Ndidi of 4 years ago. Or 3
that's
years
true.
ago.
I agree with
he has
that.
dropped form. So I don't know if he has that skill to still move the way he always does. So I think bringing in a defender is a good one. I understand I want to bring in Cyril Dessa, drop this one. We have enough players up front. It's not like we are going into the competition. It is qualifiers.
Qualifiers, exactly. FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
I feel it makes a lot of sense that we brought in a defender.
All right, let's also open the phone lines very quickly. 093-6000-410, Don't also forget as well that I can also, contribute your quota or also send your contributions to the show. I can also send us WhatsApp or text messages as well to 093-6000-430, 093-6000-430. You can also even call us on WhatsApp as well. Stay with that same number, 093-6000-430. We have a message already on WhatsApp. This person says, good evening, Okwe. If there was VAR in Africa Cup of Nations 2000, Nigeria should not have lost the cup. Victor Ekpeba's penalty crossed the line completely. The linesman was there. I saw it, but I proved it was not a goal. There. As the world develops, let's also go with the change. ᴘᴏᴜ Samson. Let's also pick the score very, very quickly. Yes, I'm trying much as possible to pick that one. Hello, good evening. Anywhere calling from very quickly. Oh, we missed that one. 093-6000-410. You can try to call us back and they would also pick your calls as soon as possible. All right, guys, you have a call on the show. Oh, please, can you kindly turn down the volume of your radio, please?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, welcome to the show.
Cᴜᴏᴜ, you guys are doing well.
Thank you so much, you're welcome.
I'm Moses calling from Egweda, and I believe I'm a first time caller on this show.
Oh, you're welcome to the show.
I listen to you guys year to year, month to month, so but I'm just calling for the first time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
calling. The decision by referee yesterday, I think I stand by the referee. He didn't do anything wrong. Because even when I used to play ball, if you kick ball 2 times, they'll rule it out. And if I didn't the goalkeeper make a move from the line, that would have been a different issue. They'll ask the player to retake the penalty. So that is my take on that part. For my club, Man U, I wish them all the best. And I pray in society that just that shot, just the way their brother did yesterday for Real Madrid.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's also hear from this caller as well. 093-6000-410, 093-6000-410. Hello, good evening. Anywhere calling from very quickly?
I agree to you.
Ufoma, you're welcome.
Yes, please. Do you give me the response for the question I asked in the afternoon?
What was the question? Please kindly remind me. Please.
The player that won African Cup of Nations more than 3, is he Sᴘᴏ
He's an Egyptian. He's an Egyptian. He won 4.
Okay. Red 4, Dabi?
Yeah. No. He won 4. I'm going to look for his name now.
Okay. Let me also have. If after this Madrid, what will happen?
Nothing will happen now. They'll go on to play the winner of PSG Aston Villa.
Okay, because looking at the remaining 8, it's like Aston Villa have not won the Champions League.
They have won Champions League.
Aston Villa have won it.
Yes, they won Champions League before Manchester United.
Oh, that's interesting. So
even before Arsenal.
Okay, Borussia Dortmund and Arsenal is the only team among the 8 that yet to win it, Adik. Yes, okay.
Sorry, Ufoma.
Okay.
The winner of Arsenal Madrid will play the winner of Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, yes.
Wow. Yes. Okay, are we looking at Clasico in Champions League, the one that did not happen in the days of Ronaldo?
That's going to be tough. And then Clasico final. That's going to be tough.
It's going to be, no, that Clasico final cannot happen.
Are you sure it can happen?
It can't happen. Because
down
it can't
opposite
happen.
sides.
Either of Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund. So if Madrid scales through,
okay,
they will meet either Barcelona or Borussia Dortmund.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So we can't have an El Clasico
final.
Wow,
so sad. Let's also hear from Sᴘᴏ very quickly. Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from?
Finally, Tommy, the man without a tummy.
Yeah, welcome, Baba.
I'm calling from Pangro.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
I don't know. Maybe it is too much winning that Madrid has won over some clubs that make them gang up against Madrid. Because I see Liverpool fans, Barcelona fans.
Everybody supported Atletico Madrid,
including me.
Everybody.
They're going to see things, they're going to lie. This thing is clearing. I could remember when I think I play football. There was a time I used to play. There was a time I used to play in a football club. There's a very skillful player we had in our team. If it's about to take a free kick, there's a way he does the ball. He lifts the ball up with his leg and then strikes it again. If the referee is also smart, he goes away with it. But most times, the referee catches him and they book him for it. So it's glaring. A third piece, a penalty kick is a one-touch kick. Even Kylian Mbappé saw it from the halfway line. The assistant coach
that is in fact, Valverde had moved already. He wanted to take his penalty.
If you even check the Real Madrid bench, the assistant coach went directly to the monitor to go and check.
They responded
immediately. So they saw it immediately. It was so clear. But people are just here being emotional. The only thing we don't say they don't like light. The only thing that we say they don't like VAR. It's only criminals that will say they don't like VAR. This is not watch football. If my team score, I calm down and I wait till a check is over before I celebrate. Because I'm not a thief. The only thing I will say is don't want VAR football.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Then I'll 6,410.
The Champions League team of the week is out, and Raheem Sterling made it. Well, in goal is PSG's as expected Donnarumma.
As expected.
Dumfries of Inter Milan, Emre Can of Borussia Dortmund, Asensio of Real Madrid, fantastic young player that is holding his own against the best of the rest.
I'm telling you.
There's also Nuno Mendes, arguably the best player for PSG.
In fact, the best left back in the world at the moment.
Exactly. There's also Pedri. I was voted man of the month. We talked about it yesterday. There's also Marco Asensio. I'm wondering
he had a good game.
How Arsenal did not sign Asensio on loan and Aston Villa picked him up.
Exactly.
I mean, they got two goals in that game.
Aston Villa got their signings in the January transfer window. Shoot signings up where Marcus Rashford, Asensio. They also brought in, I'm trying much as well to also remember his name in midfield.
They also brought in this midfielder
as well. So, I mean, I think they had a good January transfer window.
Well, Rodrigo De Paul, unfortunately, he's been knocked out. He also made the team of the week. Raheem Sterling from Arsenal, he got 2 assists yesterday. But I think he picked up a late yellow card. And I think he's not going to be playing in the first leg
of the quarterfinal against Madrid.
Yes.
Will he be needed?
He will be needed.
Okay.
I mean, there's also Harry Kane, and that's the team of the week.
All right.
Bayern.
You know, to also answer Ufoma's question, there are 2 players that have gotten the most AFCON, and they are both Egyptian. One is Ahmed Hassan, and the other is also a son, Al-Adire, who is also a goalkeeper. They've both won 4 AFCON trophies. All right, guys, they're now on 36,400, they're now on 36,410. Let's also leave all of that very, very quickly and take a look at the games that will be played today. Just like I said, or just like we said, it's going to be about the second tier and then the third tier of European football. Of course, the competition for the big boys was concluded yesterday, and the next one or the next competition will definitely be Manchester United as well as Chelsea being actually UEFA Europa League as well as the UEFA Europa Conference League. But before that, let's also quickly hear from this person. Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from?
Hello, ᴑᴏᴛ good evening.
How far now, Uche?
You're calling from Morile.
Yeah, welcome, Baba.
Let me quickly talk about Man United before Arsenal. Today, we are winning our game, and if you win today, we have a better chance of winning the Europa than Arsenal winning the Champions League. And if we win the Europa, we will use it and qualify for the UEFA Champions League. That will be a 2 trophies in a 1 season for Man United. And for Arsenal, John will not mature for them. Now they will come play serious match now. You know, this is where the Champions League starts. They never play any big team. Now we'll know whether they're this serious or they're not this serious. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Uche. We appreciate your contributions. And on 36,000 and on 36,000 All right, guys. For the Europa League, we have games to be decided later tonight. Athletic Club Bilbao will be welcoming AS Roma by 6:45 p.m. We also have an Eintracht Frankfurt as well, also welcoming Ajax, and that's also going to be played by 6:45 p.m. later tonight. And then apart from that, of course, the lineups are already out. We'll also go back to that as soon as possible. Lazio would also be playing against Victoria Pleasant by 6:45. Olympiacos up against Bodo Glimt will also be by 6:45. But then from 9 p.m. it's going to be Lyon up against FCSB. We also have Manchester United as well up against Real Sociedad as it stands. It's currently standing at a 1-1 draw at the first leg right there in Basque City. Talking about Real Sociedad's home stadium. And then of course, apart from that, Rangers would also welcome Fenerbahce. I think Rangers should go through in that one. And then Tottenham also would also be playing against AZ Alkmaar. But then let's also quickly go back to the games. Athletic Club Bilbao up against AS Roma. The lineups are already out. And starting in goal for Athletic Club, we have Urian Alex Zagbala. We also have Inigo Ruiz de Galarreta. We also have Mikel starting as well in midfield. There is actually I'm no surprise about that particular one. And then in attack, we have Inaki Williams, Unai Gomez, as well as Inaki Williams' brother, talking about Nico Williams. And up top, we have Marwan Senadi. But then for AS Roma starting goal, we have Milos Villa. We also have in defense Ivan Dika and Matt Hummels as well. The former Borussia Dortmund as well as former Bayern Munich stalwart. And then we also have Gianluca Mancini. And then of course in midfield as well, we also have Angelino, Leandro Perez. I also have Brian Cristante as well as Devin Wrench. And then in attack, we have Tommaso Baldanzi, Paulo Dybala, and then Artem Dovbyk as well. Of course, let's also leave that very quickly for Eintracht Frankfurt up against Ajax. And the Lions are currently out ready for starting in goal for Eintracht Frankfurt is Carlos Santos. We also have Rasmus Christensen. We have Tuta. We have Robin Koch. We also have Nathaniel Brown. And then in midfield, we have Hugo Larsson, Elias Shikiri. And then in attack, we have Ansgar Koff. We also have Mario Götze, former Borussia Dortmund, as well as Bayern Munich, as midfielder, as well as Jean Mathieu Bahoya. And then up top, we also have Hugo Ezekite as well, right there starting in attack. And then for Ajax as well, in goal we have Matthews, we also have Dave Jones, we have Daniel Rugani, we also have Kaplan, we have Lucas Rosa, Branko van der Boomen. Also in midfield, we also have Josie Mokio as well as David Klaassen. And then in attack, for Ajax, we have Olivia Valaka, Edvarsen, Donangela Konado, as well as Steven Berghuis. Let's also leave that very, very quickly, of course, and also take a look at the starting lineups as well for Lazio up against Victoria Pleasant. Starting in goal for Lazio is Ivan Providel. We also have Adam Marushik as well, Patrice, Alessio, Roman Gnoli, as well as Nuno Tavares. Former Arsenal, left back, also been involved in this particular one. And then in midfield for Lazio, we have Matthew Guendouzi, Matthias Vecchino. We also have Gustav Isaksin, Pedro, and Matthias Jacagni, as well as Valentin Castellanos as well. And then also starting for Victoria Pleasant in goal, we have Martin Jedika Kadu as well as left back, Vaclav Jemelka. We also have Markovic in defense, as well as Samson Ver playing at right back in that one. And then we also have in midfield Lukas Shev, Lukas Kavac as well as Pavel Shukik as well, also in midfield. And then in attack, we also have Amam Memic, Rafi Durosini, and then Matej Vidras, starting up top for Victoria Pleasant later tonight. Well, let's quickly talk about Real Sociedad up against Manchester United, the first leg, and then the 1-1 draw. I mean, I saw a statistic as well earlier on today that since the 1919-2000 season, Manchester United have been knocked out by Spanish opponents for a record 13 times. Does it pose some form of worry for Manchester United as well as their fans tonight?
It's a game they have to win. Sir Jim Ratcliffe had been really hard on the Manchester United team. He's called out some players. He has mentioned names specifically. He talked about Onana, talked about Højlund, talked about
Jadon Sancho,
and
Pokoli.
And what's his name now?
Pokoli.
Both of them out on loan. He mentioned Casemiro as well. that some of them are not good enough to play for Manchester United, as some of them are not fit enough, as some of them are even overpaid. And I understand where it's coming from. Hence, all of the pay cuts that they've been taking. First off, ending the ambassadorial responsibility commitment they have with Sir Alex Ferguson. The workers, the staff always get the December voucher. The voucher was also cancelled. Just a lot of measures to cut the expenditure of Manchester United. They currently have a
2 billion, £1 billion pounds debt. Exactly.
But they want to build a £2 billion stadium that will be financed partly by the government. So they know what is at stake for them. Beyond that, they are seated 14th on the Premier League table right now, and it's obvious that they may not get the chance to make it back to Europe next season. Whether in the Conference League or the Europa League, automatically the Champions League is out. Their only realistic chance of making it back to Europe next season, if they win the Europa League. If they win the Europa League, it's an automatic qualification into the Champions League. In fact, that could give England 6 slots. Although Man U will probably have to go play playoffs.
Exactly.
So I think for me, Ruben Amorim also came out to say that he's also not been delivering. That he's also taking responsibility for the state that the team is right now. So they play against Real. By the way, Zubimendi didn't play the last game.
Yeah, but he's going to be fit. Exactly.
Today. And so that's a big problem for Manchester United.
In defense. In midfield, rather.
They've not had a good record at home, whether in the league. So they know they have to win this one.
Exactly. And
winning means that they boost their chance of returning to Europe again next season. So they've got to get the job done. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster season for Manchester United, and I sometimes pity them. It's just form. Well, maybe a couple of players. By the way, Mason Mount is also back. I don't know if he's going to be starting
exactly.
But he's training with the main team right now. He's back.
It's been unfortunate with injuries.
Luke Shaw as well. What's his name now? Martinez is also out for the rest of the season. So there's just been a whole lot of issues, inconsistency. But again, you can make the same excuse also for Arsenal.
Exactly.
Arsenal are still second.
They are still in the Champions League.
And they are still in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
They are nearly men.
Injuries are part of the game, and is the reason why you are expected to have a large squad. So that once some players are out, some players will have to come in. So you have to beat Real Betis tonight and go to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. And I don't know if that is possible.
All right, the phone lines have been buzzing. They're now on 36004. They're now on 3600410. Yes, of course, you can also send us WhatsApp messages as well. This person says, "Good evening, Okwe and Co. I am from Ikwaja. Barcelona are in a different bracket from Real Madrid, so an El Clasico final is possible." Thank you so much for that. Let's also hear from this person as well. Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Abatomi.
Yeah, welcome, Baba.
Mr. Pay, I greet you. You see, Abatomi, sometimes people know the rules. But all this one, the Gosimo is just saying up and down, robbery of the year, the robbery of the season, everything they talk about. They just forgot about that. That's football, that is the rules. People don't come the guy 2 times, nothing you go do again. Go check most of football. Against Fulham, I think against Fulham and for the last month for Premier League, the same thing happened. They cancelled the penalty. So if they cancel the penalty, make everybody know say don't be robbery. That's normal thing to do. Every season, new rules come out. You try to Google it and read it, the new rules. Even Premier League every season. You see their rules every season come out. Read it, what is there? The only thing people just do is that just go to the center, watch ball, come out. Later they argue. Nothing like nobody know about it.
Thank you.
Let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's also hear from this person as well. Hello, good evening. Anywhere you're calling from? Hello. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Okay, good afternoon or good evening.
Good evening, Baba.
My name is am I on to mainland 98.3?
Yes, you're live on Sports Cruise on mainland 98.3 FM.
Okay, I just want to correct something. You said Aston Villa was the first won the Champions League before Man U. That's not true. Man U is the first British club to win the Champions League in 1968.
Please correct that.
See, you didn't get it. You didn't get it. It was a banter. He even said the first before Arsenal. You didn't get the banter. But thank you for the correction.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Then on 36004 says then on 36004. We also have a message as well on WhatsApp. This person says, "Good evening, great one for Real Madrid for qualifying." ᴜᴜ from Isoro. Thank you so much, ᴜᴜ. Good evening. Your name where calling from very quickly. Baba, good evening to you.
Okay, I beg, I won't bring something come out. All this is what they talk say, give up brain. That's not pure brain. Now, make I tell you, you remember 2008?
Final.
2008, Chelsea final, yeah. Chelsea, Manchester United final. Where Lampard, the ball fall down. John Terry. You remember?
Yes, I do.
So why didn't they replay that game? Why didn't they replay the ball?
There was no VR. Yeah, I think it's right up there. 2008 final. Chelsea up against Manchester United, where Frank Lampard fell down, and the ref allowed the penalty to count. That's what he's saying. And actually, and that's why I also said yes, he fell.
Did he score?
He did.
Lampard scored.
Yes, he did.
He scored in that penalty.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. He did.
I know it was John Terry and
Lampard also.
Lampard and Anelka lost.
Lampard also had
he kicked the ball twice.
Boy fell.
It was not the falling of Julio Alvarez that was
the double touch.
They were double contact. He didn't. You can fall and kick the ball.
And kick the ball just once. Yeah, exactly.
You can fall and score. Two legs cannot touch the ball within the space. That's why they call it one kick. That's one touch.
No rebound. Then on 36000 phones, then on 36000 phones. People want to sink their things in the conversation. But let's also leave that very quickly. Yes, we'll also keep the phone lines open as much as we can. And now let's also move very quickly to boxing, where Joseph Parker, or rather should I say Anthony Joshua was now choose between fighting Danny Dubois or Tyson Fury in July, and now that's according as well to his promoter Idihan, who has also said that he has to make a decision between fighting then Dubois or Tyson Fury as well in July. You'd also recall as well that Joshua had built extraordinary moments in boxing since his back-to-back loss as well to Alexander Usyk, where he defeated the likes of Jermaine Franklin, Hubert Lenius, Otto Wallin, as well as Francis Ngannou, all by knockout until then Dubois completely dominated him inside 5 rounds at Wembley Stadium last year. I think that was September as well. However, in a chat as well on a podcast, we had the British boxing promoter talking about Idihan, also stating that Joshua must now have a choice between fighting either Dubois or Tyson Fury. If he decides to fight Danny Dubois, I don't think he want to let that happen again, especially considering the way he was battered. But I think the fight a lot of people want to see is Anthony Joshua up against Tyson Fury. Despite them not being in their prime years.
I'm a huge boxing enthusiast, and like I've said it, I wanted so badly to see AJ and Fury fight because I think, irrespective of the recent defeat for Fury, I think Fury still remains arguably the greatest body bag boxing I'd ever produced. Yeah, maybe one of the most glorified heavyweight champion that we've had in a very long time. And you can't take that away from him. On the peak of Anthony Joshua's glory also, where he was holding the WBOs and IBF belt, it was a god in his own space. But both of these guys are declined. Yeah. Would I stay awake to watch? Maybe only the fact that I'm both British. It's going to be an all British fight. But would I stay awake to watch a no title fight, exactly. Like, not fighting for anything.
Nothing is involved. Yeah.
Why would I stay up to watch that fight? Now Usyk has been mandated to fight Parker, yeah, because by the 30 days they gave him and Dubois 30 days to fight, but it's obvious that they're avoiding each other for whatever reason. Now it's mandatory now that both of them, that's Parker and Usyk, they would have to fight. But why do I want to see? Maybe if either of them is lucky enough to smuggle and get in for one of the title belts and win a title, I could stay awake. But there's no way I would spend my data or anything to watch Fury
AJ
and Joshua fighting. Like I'd never even imagined in my entire life that there will be a time where these both fighters will not have a belt to put on the line for a fight.
Exactly.
So if they're fighting,
that's
they'll
unimaginable.
probably be on another card of a bigger fight.
Exactly. But I mean, still talking about boxing, where the whole controversy regarding Joseph Parker versus Danny Boy, I think both of them has to be top up there when it comes to the ranking of the heavyweight boxers, because we had Joseph Parker making mess of Martin Bakoli, the guy a lot of people said is the next demon, I mean whatever. But I mean, if that fight eventually happens, I mean, do you think it's going to be a case of Joseph Parker getting the better of Danny Boy, because Danny Boy is also a brute boxer as well? Very difficult.
It's a bit difficult because Parker also probably will tell you that he wouldn't have gotten it easy.
Parker has also lost. He has also lost to AJ, if you remember.
Of course.
Yes.
What I'm even saying is that Parker would ask himself that would he have had an easy run if it was Dubois who was fighting? That's the question. They brought in a replacement for you less than 48 hours before the fight. That was
in Congo.
He was not in camp. They brought him from Congo to Saudi Arabia. From Saudi Arabia, he came to meet you.
To Saudi Arabia.
All of the balls. And then you've been in camp, you've been training heavily. You're expected to beat him, right?
Exactly.
And that was exactly what happened. So it's a different ball game. And I still want to see Parker and Dubois fight.
Okay.
I think the game against Anthony Joshua, the fight Anthony Joshua and Dubois was Joshua underrated.
Underrated, exactly. Totally. And
he got to pay for it.
Dearly.
Dubois had not convinced me. I was really hoping he could fight Parker because Parker is
all out. He's all out.
Parker's left hand hook is a killer. So I was really hoping that he would. If he had defeated Parker, I would have taken Dubois serious. No disrespect, all of the stuff he's done, but I feel he met an unprepared or underprepared
Anthony Joshua. Exactly.
And that was how the win was easy for him. So, little wonder he's avoiding Usyk, and I mean it. Yes, maybe he felt ill, whatever it was, but I want to see that fight between Parker and Dubois.
Maybe it will happen.
It has to
Maybe
happen.
it will happen.
It will.
But I think the right money has to also be involved for that to happen as well. That's very important.
Belt, if it's a title challenge, money or no money, it has to happen.
It has to happen, exactly.
Once a belt is vacant, and then you become the mandatory challenger,
you have to fight.
All right, it's for free. You have to fight.
Let's also come back on very, very quickly and talk about the President's Federations Cup, where Enugu Rangers up against Kano Pillars will definitely headline the round of 64. The draws for the year's President Federations Cup national competition has also thrown up a couple of contests of giants, just as we have previous winners up against talking about Rangers International of Enugu as well, up against Enugu Rangers as well. You want to see something as well?
Yes, let me give you the top 10 heavyweight fighters. Top 10 ranking.
Yeah, as it stands
as of February 2025, February 3rd. Number 1 is Alexander Usyk, 23 fights, no defeats. So he's on 23-0. Second is still Tyson Fury, 34-2-1.
Despite losing.
His only defeat was in the last fight against Alexander Usyk.
Twice.
That's the only fight.
Twice.
Yeah, now.
Back to back.
The rematch. So he's at 34 fights. That's 34 wins.
34 wins.
2 draws and 1 loss.
Okay.
That's Tyson Fury in second.
Okay.
Third is Daniel Dubois.
Yes.
22 fights, 22 wins and 2 losses.
2 losses, exactly. One was against AJ.
Yeah. AJ no, AJ beat Anthony Joshua is fourth.
Okay.
28 wins and 4 losses.
He has fallen off the cliff.
He's still fourth, which is good enough. He's still ahead of Joseph Parker, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Joseph Parker is 35-3.
35-3. One of that was also against AJ as well.
Yes, there's Zili Zhang. He's on 27-2.
The Chinese.
There's Ajit Kabaya. He's on 25-0. No loss yet. There's Martins Bakole. Because of the fight he lost against Parker. It was an heavyweight fight.
Yeah,
he got into the top 10. He's now
exactly.
21-1. That's his only loss as well. Then there's also Battlefield Jololov on 14-0. Then there's Moses Ituama 11-0.
Wow. What a top 10. What a top 10 exactly. Anyways, guys.
Some of these names that we are seeing, Bakole,
they don't show up the rankings. They don't show up the rankings.
Days.
Exactly.
They're looking at names that these ones are like
the likes of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Holyfield, Klitschko. It wasn't even in the era. Klitschko brothers, exactly.
Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko. I mean, these guys, you look at the top 10 heavyweight and you're like, this one will wreck a nation.
Exactly.
We are looking for Bakri.
We are looking for a Martin Bakri that had to come from Congo down to from Congo to Saudi Arabia.
I think the heavyweight category is losing its
But okay, as a boxer, you should be ready for battle any day, anytime.
No.
That should not be an excuse now.
Anything that has rules is no longer a battle.
Okay.
You can't kill someone as a boxer. You go to jail.
All right, guys, I started with package. Here's the Thursday edition of Sports Cruise live on 98.3 FM, Sound of Lagos. 58 minutes going past 6 p.m. And you also know what is up next. We back waves with Aḻě Jabso, the classic wave master, classic Gugwe. Real good evening to you guys.
Good evening, how you doing?
I'm good. We'll be watching the Manchester United off against the other side of that game.
When I'm done with my program. Or I'll be watching snippets of it in the studio here.
But on way back waves today, what exactly are we expecting on the show?